Don't mind us, just bopping to our song. We were like voguing in like the back room. It was amazing. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode number 69 of Restitching the Tapestry. And get your minds out of the gutter, everyone. So we wanted this episode tonight to be kind of like a relaxing random episode talking about fun and festivities. We have our beverages ready to go, and
they're definitely inviting.
Yeah, we are.
Should we tell them why we had to change the name of the episode?
Yeah, we had to change the name of the episode because they're like apparently YouTube's algorithm doesn't like a particular word that starts with a D that also means imbibing. So,
we're not going to say the word, but it begins with D and ends in unk.
Exactly. So, but yes, welcome.
Uncle.
That was so funny. That broke me. We have Leo here so far. We have Panda Alsatian here so far. And hello, both of you. Leo says, guess who has his dragon deck? It's going splendid. That is exciting.
Did not read deck the first time I looked at that. Didn't see deck.
Ari, your new do is making its debut tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a 4K video on my channel so you could see all of my glory.
I have to say, like, you both look stunning this evening. Like, Ari, your hair is amazing. Sherri, your glasses and your outfit, the color. Every gay fiber of my being is nerding out.
Not that you don't look great every other day, but you look particularly nice today.
I think.
Well, I feel like we should play Guess Sherri's theme every week because I do theme it up every week. I mean, I feel like this one's kind of obvious, but like, first person to guess my theme gets a shout out.
Yes, guess Sherri's theme based on the colors.
Don't give it away. What the hell?
Kenneth is here.
Hi,
hello. Oh my goodness! I'm sorry you have to be at the hospital at 5:30 in the morning.
Is it your shoulder surgery? Oh, I hope it's. Oh, his rotator cuff has been messed up for the longest time. So fingers crossed, this is the shoulder surgery.
Panda says spring theme. Not that, but good guess.
Good guess. Back of the line.
Yeah. So like we just wanted to do this kind of like relaxed episode because we've been talking a lot about some very serious topics the past few episodes, and additionally there's a lot going on in the world right now, and we're hoping that in some way, much like it is for us, this episode might serve as some sort of, I don't know, amusing escape of sorts for you. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of different random things. I'm going to be reading terrible poetry from 2009. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So, of course, I am, for the sake of consistency, I'm going to do our show's mission statement, but then I'm going to connect it to why we're talking about what we're talking about tonight. So, we live in a dynamic society where social media shapes us by creating greater opportunities for connection. It has led to a developing understanding of the adversity marginalized communities face and the powers causing the adversity, and those who act as bystanders as atrocities take place in real time. Our goal with this show is to make connections and have challenging conversations about social topics, current events, pop culture, and art. Together, let's weave the threads of understanding with what privilege we have in order to learn, educate, and create in a world that's growing. So, again, the reason why we are doing this is because I think it's important for us to live the example of showcasing the significance of mental rest in a time of significant unrest in the world. So I don't know if that made sense. Did that make sense? Probably not.
So we have praying hands backwards.
Oh, that I was like, did Leo just like stomp on the keyboard?
I think Leo just stroked out. Somebody call 911.
Call an ambulance. He's having a stroke.
I'm so proud of you. You got praying hands. Good job.
All right, this is a very serious discussion question.
Well, should we mention to the group why there
yes, Panda got it. Oops. Yes, blue and yellow for Ukraine support.
Shout
Perfect.
Out, Panda. Good job. That's my boy.
So Ari, when did praying hands begin for you? Why do you do them?
So for me, it shows that I'm being serious and that I'm taking you very seriously, and that every time you do the mission statement, I definitely reflect on what you're saying. So to me, it's sort of like, I hate to say like assuming the position, but like I get into like my serious space and I really consider the mission statement and how it applies to our topic tonight or of the night.
So pensiveness.
You're so
right. It's just like I just sit there and I just like really considering and like kind of like digging over the mission statement and like, how are we going to work this in tonight?
See, I just like try not to look directly into the camera, but look at myself and am I making a thoughtful face?
And see, I can't see either of you when I'm reading it. So it's like, I hope that nobody's being like, oh, there goes Donny again reading this damned mission statement.
I do my thoughtful face look. Interesting.
I love
Stroke
it.
my invisible philosopher's beard.
We all have our own like little pensive like expressions. Mine is like,
yeah, that's the beginning. That's the beginning face. This is the end face or the end face.
Strike a pose. Sorry, demonetized. Can't sing any Madonna. Good Lord, we already dodged that bullet tonight. Like we're monetized.
Oh, Madonna. I'm kidding.
I
love Madonna.
Refrain from saying anything about Madonna because the last time I said something, you got very angry with me.
That's because you were talking shit about Madge, and we don't play that game.
I know my drama loving gay ass enjoy. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Johnny was just like, I'm gonna sit back here and see how this plays out. And I'll decide with whoever's alive at the end.
Should I chime in and say Gaga's better than everyone, and then really get it going? I'm kidding.
It's just a generational thing. I understand that's not your fault.
Every artist deserves to be celebrated.
Kanye?
Oh God! Oh.
But since it's Madonna, I will refrain from being a bummer and tell her that she can't like Madonna because she definitely deserves to like Madonna, just like I deserve to not like Madonna, and I'm not going to rain on her happy parade.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum. Yeah. So anyway, you can hate Madonna in your own time.
Kanye West, though.
But what a mess.
No.
What a mess.
What a mess. Like,
look, if he were not famous, we would be calling 911. Like the shit he's pulling, like, I'm sorry. And I'm like so out of the loop on like contemporary celebrities, and even I know what the F is going on with him and Kim Kardashian. I don't even know who Kim Kardashian is except she's famous. But I know the shit he's pulling, and I know what an abusive relationship with a narcissist looks like. You know what I mean? It's just like anyway.
So, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I used to listen to his music a long time ago. Not that I ever thought it was that good, but I digress.
Well, you're one of those queens.
I mostly just had to listen to it out of obligation for
it's in the club, so you know.
Hi, Sophia.
Sophia's here.
Sorry,
and Archie just complimented your hair.
I just want to apologize in advance to the chat. Apparently, I woke up today and chose violence.
You're like a duck or a goose with a
knife. You chose violence. Ari chose humor. I chose drama.
No, I definitely chose violence today. We're a violent club. I'm joining.
Yes. Don't think I won't redo the logo in the Fight Club. I have that font somewhere. I bought it for something else. So I have that font somewhere.
RP asks, do you like Cher, Donny? Am I gay? Am I
like it's like in the handbook.
It's like
they don't let you do it if you don't.
For gays, there is this like pantheon
Mhm.
of musical artists that we should love, and Cher is undoubtedly one of them. So,
And well earned, by the way. Cher, an
exactly.
amazing human being, an amazing still, like, I don't know if y'all follow Cher on Twitter.
Her
And if you're
Twitter
not,
is wild.
her Twitter is amazing. And if you're not following her on Twitter, you're missing out. Like, everybody after the chat, like, find her on Twitter and follow her.
Do you know what angers me beyond all comprehension? The fact that how old is Cher?
Like 708.
Like, Cher is
She's old.
getting up there, and she looks better than I do.
She looks so
and I'm at 34. Like, I literally feel like a trash bag compared to Cher.
I'm gonna guess that she's close to my mother's age, and my mother's like 75.
Like, I feel like if I stood next to Cher, like, people would be like, why is Cher standing next to a dumpster?
Yeah, but she can afford the really good surgery. But also, honestly, I don't feel like she's had that much work done. I think she just has really good genes. You know what I mean?
This is true.
Like,
and she, like, probably, you know, has people helping her take care of herself, you know, yeah.
Right, yeah, she takes care of
like,
herself.
advisors.
Also, yeah, like, she's half Native American, you know what I mean? And so, like, those are just some good genes, good bone structure, like, beautiful, beautiful people. You know what I mean? And I think, like, you know, she's just won the gene lottery. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
She's just always been gorgeous and statuesque.
I feel like when you come out as gay or like of the LGBTQ plus community, there's two things they do for you. They hand you a list of all of the celebrities that you can love, and Cher is on that list, and they hand you a gay pride flag.
So is Madonna.
This is so...
I just like...
and Bette Midler.
Oh, Bette Midler for sure.
You
are the wind beneath my wings, bitch.
Yes.
Like, oh, I mean, I was gonna go for Fat As I Am, but you know. Or Otto Titsling. I love all of her burlesque, singing, jokey stuff. Like, that's what I was raised on. Also, Wind Beneath My Wings, blah blah.
That's not as good as the other stuff, though. It was just the first thing I thought about. You know, I am two drinks in. You know,
No, so it's amazing.
For those of you in the chat, if you haven't shared how you have been doing lately as well, we would like to know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Leo loved Cher and Moonstruck. Yes. Oh, Ken knew. 70... Ken said Cher is 75, I guessed. Oh, I get the shout out this time. Look at me.
Slay.
I thought I remembered that she and my mom were born the same year, so it was just in my head. Oh, and the year I was born, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves was the #1 song. The day I was born. Sorry.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. I mean, unfortunate title, but still Cher song.
I definitely sang that song at karaoke before, and people looked at me funny, but I had so much fun doing it.
Oh my God. Can we talk about karaoke? I am terrified of doing karaoke. I don't know why. Like, I can sit at home and do karaoke, but the moment I'm like in a bar, I'm like,
so we need to pull up some karaoke videos right now so Donny can do some singing for the chat.
All right, so we're gonna go on Amazon, and the three of us are gonna get that microphone thing, and we're just gonna like get wasted, and like and like that'll be an episode, and we'll just like do karaoke for the whole hour.
We don't get flagged for that too.
And we'll bring we'll get flagged for that. And we'll bring our viewer count down to 0. Everybody will leave, and
it'll just be us singing to them.
Like when we decide we're sick of this, that's how we're gonna end it. I say we just blow it up.
You guys won't leave us though watching because you love us.
Well, I mean, Panda can't because he's my son. He's contractually obligated to watch this show every week.
I would say the only time I've successfully and confidently done karaoke if it's "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence. Both parts, the male and female part, because I can do both. I don't
know their songs. I really need to.
If you heard it, you would recognize it.
All right, you said that before, and I believe you.
It's the song that goes like, "Wait, I can't do it because we
wake me up inside."
Sorry, you too. I'll send a link to you later. I'll try to keep it to just a link and not like a deep, in-depth analysis of the song.
Okay. Look at Panda. Oh,
Panda, if we do a karaoke night, it'll probably be an episode that's not on YouTube because we don't want to get yelled at by YouTube. We'll do it like on Vimeo or something. Does Vimeo still exist?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
By golly gee
Yeah.
whiz.
Or we build up enough followers on TikTok and do a TikTok live.
This is
So-
true. TikTok is way nicer about like
Copyrighted material.
copyright
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
We could do a Twitch stream too.
Ooh, Twitch. I've thought about branching into Twitch, but I've not done that quite yet.
Let me
Can
know.
we
I'm
talk about
down.
parasocial relationships?
Yes, Ari,
Oh.
take it away.
So I've been thinking about this like the last probably about month. It's been like kind of percolating beneath my mind. And it's like we have so many parasocial relationships with YouTube celebrities and actual celebrities. And it is like even with our president, we like voice our opinions in so many ways based on what our president is doing and like what he's saying and how he's putting himself out there and how he's trying to like have a relationship with the American people by doing certain things. And it's like he doesn't have control over the legal system for the most part. He's basically just a figurehead, and we're all just kind of like getting mad about stuff that he has no control over, like gas prices.
Well, yeah. That's because the United States has always wanted a king. The vast majority of people, like, that's what people understand, and they secretly all, like, subconsciously, not secretly, but they all subconsciously, it's not a conscious wish. They're always like, oh, my freedoms. But ultimately, they all want a king. They want a president who can come in and take that dick.
Is that why Hollywood is full of despotism?
Nepotism?
Nepotism, despotism. Hey, I am 2 drinks in. We're on number 3.
Nepotism is
I'm
just.
sorry
nepotism.
I'm broken right.
Yeah. I dicked his tater.
You didn't think I would bring it. I did.
All right. Bring it on down. Bring it on down.
Okay.
Speaking of Hollywood, I was mentioning how I am two what did I say? It's
Steps away from two
steps away from Elvis. Who wants to hear that story?
I want to hear that story.
I need at least 3 people in the chat who want to hear that story. I'm not telling it. Panda already knows it, so he doesn't count.
Well, while we wait for those 3 people to chime in,
Yep.
I'm really caught up on like the parasocial thing and just thinking about how much accessibility we have to these people in power now, like through social media. Like you can go on Twitter and just tweet your opinion to somebody, and they
And,
could
like, a
very
celebrity
well
will
see
just,
it.
like all of a sudden randomly respond to your tweet because it'll just like show up on their page.
Right.
And it's like I feel like Twitter is the most accessibility we have to people who are celebrities or something because first of all, Twitter is a very like low like mental boundaries because you can just do like quick sentences. So it's like you're texting someone, but you're just like putting that all out for the world to see. So like some people, there's like this idea that you're not like really thinking about like what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're just kind of going on instinct almost, which is why Twitter is very dangerous because a lot of people tweet things that like they later regret that nobody said anything at the time, but then later it comes out that they were like super sexist or super racist and they were just like going on some kind of like instinct.
Yeah.
So
Like parasocial relationships aren't new. You know what I mean? Like that's always been a thing where like you'd have the super fans. Like what was the name of that guy that like took a pot shot at, wasn't it Reagan because he was in love with Jodie Foster, to get her attention or whatever.
Oh yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? Like parasocial relationships have been around forever. Like as long as you've had celebrities, you've had parasocial relationships. But I think if I hear you correctly, what you're saying is like the nature of them has changed and it's become more immediate because again, it feels like you have that kind of immediate connection with people. Like even us, right? Like the people in the chat, like, there's Ken who I know, in real life, and there's Panda who I know in real life. Everybody else, like, I don't actually know you guys. Like, we can be like internet friends like this, but like, am I going to invite you to my house? Like, I love you, but no, I'm actually a very private person when it comes to a lot of things. You know what I mean? And there's like a boundary there. And I have the same relationship with like working at the Renaissance Festival. So I worked at the Renaissance Festival for almost 20 years. and I built up, you know, like not a celebrity status, but we did have fans, you know, of our characters. And, you know, there's a line, you know what I mean? There's like people that you were friends with that you know, got to know outside of festival, and there are people you just didn't. And sometimes it was arbitrary, sometimes it was for a very good reason. You know, and it just like, it's just kind of the nature of the beast, you know what I mean? Where you have to kind of, you know, be aware of, you know, who you are and who you're talking to. And you can never really know, right? If you don't know that person in real life, like if you don't know, if you haven't met them outside of this kind of experience, like there's just no way to really know who that person is or what they're like. And so you do have to be a little guarded. And I mean, we're on a way smaller scale than like Cher, you know what I mean? But and if I'm hearing you right, like that's kind of where you're going, where there's like
just
that.
YouTube is just so in your face because it's on your phone, and like there's comment section, so you can like comment to them, and maybe they'll look at them, maybe they won't look at them. So it's like you can like spill your heart out in the comments, and it feels like you're being heard and seen, even though you're just watching them on a screen. And so like it's such a weird thing, isn't it? It's so weird.
It's like just this like very ethereal sense of connection. Like I remember that was one of the things that really drew me into YouTube at the beginning, especially because it originally had that like video response feature, remember? Like where you could like do video responses to other people's videos and they would watch your videos.
Right.
And it was so much more accessible. So
yeah.
And it's very interesting.
And like out at festival, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ari. No, go ahead. You first.
I was just gonna say out at festival, like, you know, we're playing a character, but it's not, well, I was on a stage sometimes, but most of my day was not on a stage. Most of my day was talking in character like this to people. And so that's a very intimate kind of relationship. You know what I mean? And it's interactive street theater. And so you're, you know, coming up with improv on the fly, and you're coming up with stories on the fly. And it can be a very real kind of thing. And it could feel very real. You know what I mean? And that relationship could feel very real. But it's like, you know, Rita Hayworth, like they go to bed with Gilda and they wake up with me kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they all fell in love with the seamstress, but at the end of the day, like I'm not that character. I am a seamstress. You know what I mean? I worked as a seamstress before, but you know, that's all pretend. You know what I mean? Like I'm not actually the village seamstress. I'm playing a character at the end of the day. My life is actually way less glam, you know, than it looks. Like if I turn this camera around, y'all, there's like so many stacked dirty dishes on this table behind you. Like you have no idea. My room is really gross. You don't want to see it.
Do you see that my bed doesn't have a sheet on it so much? I usually try to cover that up, but today I forgot to because I started having imbibing time before I could cover it up. So
let's see. RP asks if we've heard of the YouTuber Rolly. I think
no, who is that?
I think I have, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Hi, Deborah. It's good to see you. So, Sherri, do you want to share your story?
Yeah, I got my 3, right? Leo finally gave in. He was holding out for a minute there.
We knew you would, Leo.
So, my dear close personal friend, Anne Margaret and I were in a movie together. So long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they shot this turd of a movie at my festival called All's Fair. It's on Netflix. You can go watch it. At least last I knew it was still on Netflix. If not, you can rent it on Amazon. Please don't spend money on this turd. Wait till it's free on Netflix again and watch it. If you must watch it. It's not great, not gonna lie. Christina Ricci's in it, and the dude from SLC Punk, what's that actor's name?
Matthew Lillard.
Is that his name?
Anyway, was it Scream too?
Sure, I've never seen Scream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sure. Anyway, immaterial, but also Anne Margaret's in it, and Cedric the Entertainer's in it. Anyway, so. And it was this movie about Renaissance fairs. And so it was shot on site at our Renaissance fair down in Holly. And I'm just doing my thing. I'm actually kind of trying to avoid the cameras and stuff because I have a job to do while I'm out there. So I'm trying to be in other places. Well, there was one time where I got stuck outside the gate entertaining people as they were coming in for the day. because they were shooting the scene where everybody's running in like it's the opening, day of fair, and everybody's running in, all excited. And so I was like feeling too lazy to like walk around the long way behind the scenes. So I was like, fine, I'll just wait till they open it up and I'll just run in with everybody else. So if you're fast on the pause button, you can see me very, very briefly in this movie run in with everybody else. So I always say, though, that me and Margaret are very close personal friends. There might be a restraining order. Like, I don't know. We don't call each other. It's cool. It's casual. But, and we're going to do a thing. We'll do lunch or something sometime. It's fine. And speaking of parasocial relationships, but that does still technically make me 2 degrees separated from Elvis.
Nice. I'm okay with that. I'll take it.
I love it. I'm gonna go find this now. Me too.
It's called All's Fair.
All's Fair.
Really bad.
So before I met you, I went to the Renaissance Festival, and I'm pretty sure I might have encountered you while I was there, but I didn't know you then.
Oh.
So just saying, because I'm pretty sure that I saw you. I was at I was thinking that I remember seeing you because I saw some of your Rennie pictures. There was like a magic show or something, like the guy was doing some stuff on stage, like where he was balancing stuff and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure I saw you over there at one point.
It's probably Acrobellum, and we were often right after them. We were doing the costume contest, and we were often scheduled right after Acrobellum.
Yep.
Interesting. And then the stars aligned to make this happen here.
Yeah.
I love it. So, Arby says that this person, Rolly, is a YouTuber who had a fan who was stalking him. She was prying into his personal life and sexualizing him, among other disturbing things. Wow, that's interesting.
That's like what I worry about is like, so I watched all of these people online, and it's like, I need to not like get too friendly in the comments, because it's like it just gets weird. You know what I mean? Like that's the weirdest. That's the thing I like worry about the most, is being like a fan of somebody's work, that I'm gonna say something or do something and it's gonna be like extra creepy.
Right. Yeah. Please don't ever get offended if we're a little like standoffish and not wanting to get too close. It's just like we've all had bad experiences with that, and so it's just like you can just never be too careful. I've had that with people at festival. Super fans of festival, where it's just like some people just take it way, way too seriously. And it's like there's an off-season party that happens in April, which I go to. And I was there with another actor who played my sister. We were paired up that year out at festival. And for some reason, the actress who played our queen, who lives in Florida, by the way, she was up in Michigan renegotiating her contract. So just for fun, she thought she'd come to this party and just make an appearance as the queen. People were crying because their queen had shown up and what an honor it was. And Tracy and I were just looking at each other and we're like, so do you tell them or do I tell them that she's not actually the fucking queen of the festival? Like, who's going to tell these grown ass adults that she's just an actor and she just happened to be in town, so she thought she'd come in and play Queenie for us for a couple hours? Like, are you fucking serious?
It's like it's just with that story, like I've had similar experiences on YouTube actually in the past, where like a person has like really like gotten very much involved into my stuff, and this was like years and years and years ago, but like I remember I like had this one guy once who had like a huge crush on me and was like so insistent, and it just like, I think sometimes when people watch other people's videos or see them engaging in creative outlets, they share in this mutual vulnerability that's happening between the speaker and listener, right? So like at the end of the day, though, I think we need to remind ourselves that yes, while we're sharing that vulnerability and while that's important, we have to acknowledge that these are people we're thinking about too, that they are humans, that there are boundaries and boundaries that shouldn't be crossed without consent, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Who wants to see my hat from my character?
I do.
I do.
It's gotten real heavy.
Which, like a sad person I have like nearby. Although my watch isn't on here. That's weird. My watch lives on here. Anyway, so I gotta take the ears off. I de-eared myself.
I remember this hat. I've seen this
So,
hat before.
The button says Fabric the Gathering. And I don't know if you can see all the feathers, but
I'm living for it.
If you got feathers in your face, you're standing too close.
That's a great policy to have.
This
is my dance space. That's your dance space.
But like blurring of the lines in that kind of setting, I totally understand because I used to LARP, and one of the biggest things about LARPing is that like you have this character that you play, and that it's someone that you may relate to, but it's not you. It's you playing this character. Right. And there were a lot of people who like would kind of blur that line between their real life and the reality or their character, and it would just be like kind of like a wish fulfillment for them. Like they would be like, I'm the most beautiful, I'm the most rich, I'm the most powerful person in the room. You have to pay attention to me and give me all of the praise. And it's just like, it was just like really weird after a while because I'd be playing with people and I was like, I can just do these things in LARP or I can go out and actually do them. And so I was like, I just had to give it up because I couldn't. Yeah. It was just like, you know, somebody who is less than attractive playing somebody who is supposed to be, you know, level 10 beauty goddess. And it's like, or somebody who is on a very limited income playing somebody who's like a billionaire. Like it was just so weird to me. And it's just like, if I want money, I'll go make money. If I want to be more beautiful, I'll make myself more beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I got to tell you, I know, I think I know exactly what you're talking about because to her credit, the lady who plays the queen is very down to earth and is very like, look, backstage, I'm not the queen. Please don't bow to me. Please don't treat me special. I'm just an actor like everybody else, blah, blah, blah. Like she's very, very cool about that. That's not true for everybody. So, you know, back in ye old medievally times, you know, there was a social stratus, right? There's a social strata. And the idea was the higher up in the food chain you are, the closer to God you are. And so you treat your betters as your betters and you bow to them and you show deference and that sort of thing. And we would have whole classes on how to show deference in character and all that kind of stuff. Well, there would be actors who would just be like mortally offended if like, because we're all working, it's 10 hours on your feet, it's hot, it's all kinds of weather. Sometimes you miss one, you know, somebody walks by you and you're just like, oh shit, I didn't bow to that noble. Oops. There would be nobles who would be mortally offended because you didn't bow to them and just be like, you know, somebody of my station is just like, bitch, please. Like you wear a fancy dress because that's where you were cast. Like you need to get over yourself. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Or like maybe you bow to them. And the rule was like you bow to them if they don't see you because they're busy doing other things. You kind of 1, 2, 3. All right. And then you just fuck off and you know, go on with your day. And so sometimes they would turn around and see you just walking off. You know what I mean? They missed the part where you bowed and made a big deal out of it. And it's just like, okay, well, you didn't see where I gave you deference. You didn't see the part where I gave your character, not you, deference, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's just like a whole, like people just taking themselves way too seriously. Like I said, I was like, hey, what if this is all pretend? What if I'm not, you know, what if that's actually not the queen and you're not actually the Duchess of York and I'm not actually the town seamstress? Okay, no, I was the costume director. So I really was the town seamstress. That was a bad example. But all the others, like...
I totally get it.
It's like sometimes you get so involved in those roles that some people lose touch with reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They lose themselves.
Let's lighten the mood because we both just got into a complaint fest. Let's talk about what we're watching on TV.
Oh, what am I watching?
I'm watching The Queen, and I'm trying to get through Don't Look Up, and I'm having trouble.
I have not watched either. But I think I've
The Great. I'm watching The Great, not The Queen. I got Queen on the brain because of Sherri.
Oh. I've been watching...
Sorry, Donnie, there's a new queen in town.
Oh. I mean, I was never a queen. I was always a goddess. I'm kidding. I can't even say that convincingly.
I will. I am a pretty goddess. You will have to acknowledge my pretty goddessness, and then I will acknowledge your prettinesses too.
I love it.
No, I'm just being annoying, and I'm on drink 3, almost drink 4. So
Panda says we are watching The Gilded Age. The same creator as Downton Abbey.
Did you see that Downton Abbey is about to come out with another movie? Because I
saw that too. I'm very interested.
It's the new era.
Leo says that I am the Empress Incarnate. Yes. Thank you. I've been watching.
And Leo, thank you for the compliment on the hat, by the way.
Oh yeah. Did I miss that somewhere?
Yep.
I may have missed it. I apologize.
Once you get a fursuit for Ren Fairs, and the hat is gorgeous.
Oh, okay. My reading comprehension right now is just but I've been watching the new Star Trek shows, of course, because that's what I do. In fact, yesterday I was invited to a fan viewing. Like, I was selected to go to like a fan viewing online of Star Trek Picard early, and I wept. It was beautiful. That
might be as cool as being like, I think I said 2 degrees. I think it actually makes you 1 degree separated, right? Like, because it's just me and it's just Anne Margaret between me and Elvis. That's 1 degree. I think I just upgraded myself. So I think that's better than being 1 degree, or at least equal to being 1 degree separated from Elvis.
Yeah,
I think you and I
were a very iconic moment for me. It made me very happy. And they have like this little thing where you could like take pictures. I'm gonna see if like I can show the picture somehow.
Ooh.
Add.
Yes, please.
An overlay. I think that's what it is. An overlay.
Can I just say I'm really enjoying this episode? Like, I know that we're still like in it deep, but we've had already good conversations, and I'm pleased at how well we've been able to hold conversations.
Oh yeah, me too.
Hey, look, I've got the seamstress hat on. Nothing bad can happen. You might get some bad jokes, but you know.
So I don't know if this will work, but this was the little photo I got to take.
Aw, that's awesome.
I love it. You look so handsome.
Oh, thank you. I had to retake it like 5 times because I was just like, if Sir Patrick Stewart sees this, I don't want to look like a mess.
Speaking of daddies.
Speaking of parasocial relationships.
Right.
Hello.
Right. Okay, so but other than that, I've been going back and watching the early seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. And it can be very cringy sometimes.
Oh,
that's why I watch it.
Oh boy, it can be super cringy sometimes. And doesn't RuPaul like not always do so well with trans people?
Yeah, he used to be very transphobic. He's improved. Like there's better representation now, but like I don't think he's really like held himself accountable or said anything, at least not that I can recall. And it's really frustrating because like RuPaul has been like instrumental like for the gay community, for the whole LGBTQ plus community, but like having like it just goes to show you what privilege can do, right?
Well, and it's just being from like a certain time and place that he was like in the early days of like the kind of like awakening of the LGBTQ plus community into like the community as far as like gaining more awareness and gaining more activism and like being straightforward about who they are and what they believe in. So it's like he's just kind of like it was growing before that, but he's like one of the faces of people who were not viewed in media very often. So it's like I feel like some of his views are very antiquated. I would say that, but I would think that like, you know, he does need to update some of his ideas, and like he's worked on it, but like he's also of a certain time and place,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So can I spill some tea?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it is my opinion that the elder generation in the LGBTQIA community is no better than the elder generation in the straight community, where the attitudes and ideas they had when they came up are the attitudes and ideas that they have kept to this day. And so you do get very problematic elders in the
Antiquated
community.
views.
Yeah, very antiquated. My brother was so misogynistic, like very anti-woman in a lot of ways. And and it was just like, it was popular and it was funny and it was cute, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but not at all, you know what I mean? And also he was very anti-bi.
Yeah.
A lot of biphobia.
Yeah, a lot of biphobia.
Like there is I would say that most gay men at some point have to work toward unlearning misogyny.
Yeah.
Because misogyny affects all of us, especially
Right.
men, because we're conditioned to believe that it's acceptable and kind
Are
of
we jumping episodes here?
Probably. Okay, so nevertheless, though, Sherri, that was an excellent point, and I think that we should definitely bring that up for our return episode. BTW, everybody. We are taking next week off, because we periodically will do breaks here and there. So next week is our off week. The reason why we wanted to do this episode was to end our first segment of season 3 with something relaxing. And
don't lie. It's because you're on spring break and you don't want to film.
I mean, I do, but I also am like, we all need a creative recuperation,
It's very true.
And I'm going to be doing so much grading.
Oh, no.
Same. Hard same. Panda had an observation. Rainbow's always been divided, sadly.
Yes, I've seen it too.
I feel like it's getting better, but it's like one person at a time, one celebrity at a time, one group at a time, and it's just like slowly building towards something. I feel like it's more united than it has been, but it's definitely been a challenge.
Like, we're at least having the conversations now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it can be brought up that, hey, that's maybe not cool, or hey, maybe you need to be more, open with your conversation. So yeah, it's slowly getting better, as things tend to go. Well, I think we're out of topics. End of episode.
No, I was gonna say, the movie that's really like, I did a couple movie reviews on my channel, but like Moonfall was like the best movie I've seen in a while, with representation and like the idea that everybody can be the hero. I was just like, I'm all for that. Like, yeah, it was such a good movie. Like, it definitely has still left an impact on me. Like, even now, a couple weeks after I watched it, that I'm like, I hope that wins some awards because it was really good.
I didn't talk about what I've been watching. So really, the only thing I've been watching is I've been rewatching Mad Men with the boy, with Panda.
You try to get everybody to watch Mad Men.
I'm trying to get everybody to watch Mad Men. Well, but I mean, I get that it's not for everybody, but I will proselytize to it because I think it's a great slice of the 20th century. Like, they picked, like Matt Weiner picked a very interesting decade to focus on, and there was a lot of social change happening at that time. And you see that play out in the different generations. You have the very old generations, the kind of middling generations, even though there's kind of one, sad man who's like the center of the story, there's still like, several different lead characters who get kind of focused on, and so you see like the women's movement, and you see the civil rights movement, and you see a little bit gay people being talked about. Again, there's a lot of argument about how Matt Weiner handled it. Anyway, so I don't want to get too in the weeds on that because I don't want to spoiler, but it can be argued either way, whether it's just him being historically accurate or him falling into tropes, like, which is it, chicken or egg? But
her not revealing spoilers is Sherri's subtle attempt to get us to watch it, to be like teasing us with little facts about it. Like, oh no, I can't reveal spoilers. You have to watch it for yourself.
Well, the boy and I are watching it together. We're not all the way through it, so I don't want to spoil for him mostly. But I mean, yeah,
we just thought you had ulterior motives with advertisement, and
I always have ulterior motives.
It's okay. That's how I am with Star Trek. I'm always like, so Star Trek, let's talk about it. Chapter 1, Star Trek.
And I know how Sherri feels about the new versions of Star Trek. She is just not about it at all.
I do like Picard. I like Picard a lot. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, because I think they're very consistent with that character. You know what I mean? And with the characters that I only saw season 1, but I thought they were very consistent with the character and with the kind of lore of what was going on. Like I was able to buy in. Right. You know what I mean? Where like the younger stories I felt like was for younger people. I felt like it was just not written for me, which is fine.
Like Discovery.
I'm hoping in season 2 that they do more like character building. I think part of the reason I think this was part of the issue with Discovery. Oh, here I go on a tangent. Is that like the stories are good, and I think the cinematography is beautiful, like, and the representation is good, but all the characters don't get their moment to connect with the audience, which makes it difficult to really feel emotionally connected with them. They've improved with that in the series at season 3 and 4 so far, but it's frustrating that it's taken that long for Discovery to get to that point.
And I think that's what made Mad Men so powerful. You know what I mean? Like, is that the characters are very relatable and they're very human and they're very real. And so like, you know, you can relate to them on some kind of level. Like, you know, oh, you know, my mom was like that, or, you know, oh, you know, I remember feeling that way when I was a kid, or, you know, whatever. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting study of human nature and an interesting study of the culture at the time, the prevailing culture at the time. You know, I mean, they're ad men. So that's kind of the epicenter of culture, right? In the mid 20th century. So it's an interesting lens to look at culture through, is kind of the people who are the keepers and curators of culture during that time, right? The people who are giving us our culture and feeding it to us.
So I'm not sure if it's just the drinks, but you're definitely really selling it to me right now. Like I'm definitely like, wow, I think I might actually watch this now.
Yeah. Sherri, you're on something tonight.
It's a deeper show than it. Because on the surface, and I understand your aversion to it. Your aversion to it was, oh, it's a bunch of, you know, cis white men, and it's about cis white men. And on the surface, that's what it's about. But that's kind of the point. You know what I mean? Because it's not celebrating them. It's very critical of them, and it's very critical of that culture. And so I think that's what makes it interesting to me. Is it's not a good portrait that they're painting. You know what I mean? And so
it's kind of like Breaking Bad. Like you kind of like root for the villain, but you're also like, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, it is. It's like, you know, Breaking Bad or The Sopranos, right? And Matt Weiner came from The Sopranos. Like he was one of the writers from The Sopranos, and he had this idea for this show and finally was able to pitch it. And as Panda said, all the bad behavior gets punished.
Oh, people are held accountable. That's a refreshing change.
So yes, they might act badly, but you see them get punished for that bad behavior. You see them being held accountable for it. So, and it's not always just. It's not always like instant karma where you're just like, oh, good. Like sometimes you have to wait for it. Sometimes it's very real to life in that way. You know what I mean? But they don't glamorize, you know, the bad behavior of these guys. Again, like you said, Breaking Bad is a good, you know, where you're rooting for Walter White, but also you understand what a problematic character he is and what a problematic person he is, and how you're like, I don't want to be friends with him, but I want to watch this train wreck happen. You know, like Don Draper, the lead character, is that same kind of vein, that anti-hero kind of vein.
That is also the reason why I watch certain YouTube people, is because they are a super train wreck, and I'm just like, it's so hard to look away. It's so hard to look away. Like I'm talking specifically about Foodie Beauty and Amberlynn Reed. They are train wrecks.
It's because we're in it for the drama.
And I became a member of Foodie Beauty's chat so I could like talk to her, because she went across the border from Canada into the United States and didn't have all of the information she needed to immediately get back into Canada. Like she didn't know that you had to download the app. She didn't realize that you had to have a rapid test. She didn't know any of that stuff. She was just like, I'm going to the United States to get McDonald's, and they'll just have to let me back. And it's like, no.
Not how that works. Sorry, sweetheart.
I'm like, you'll figure it out. But like,
No.
And baby girl, border guards aren't going to give a shit who you are.
Oh yeah.
Because guaranteed none of them watch YouTube.
So I have a, building off that, I have a question for us. An unscripted, spontaneous question, by the way. Pat on back. But why do you think people are so drawn to controversies and drama? What makes it so interesting?
I feel like it's the same as rubbernecking. Honestly, it's like something like big and like serious is happening, and you can like live in that because it's almost like it becomes a fantasy where you're like kind of disconnected from it. So it's like the drama and stuff that's happening with their lives doesn't have a direct impact on your life at all, and doesn't have a direct impact about what you're going through. So you can like live through all of this like drama and like chaos vicariously without having to experience it in your own life.
There's no stakes. So
No stakes.
It's kind of like watching a horror movie, right? Like you can experience that adrenaline rush without actually having to be in peril, or like going on a carnival ride, you know, going on a extreme roller coaster. You know, you get that adrenaline rush, but there's no peril. Now, that being said, I'm actually not a fan of like reality television.
Not really reality television. I only watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And even then, I kind of go through this, you know, their lives are really messed up. Should I really be watching this?
Yeah, like I watched a couple of YouTubers who react to some of that stuff, but I guess my guilty pleasure when it comes to that is like murder television. You know, it's like the cold
serial
case
killer, like crime dramas.
And I mean, not to be a hipster, but like I was watching this shit when it first came out. Like I'm sorry. Like all these hoes that are into it now can suck it, because I've been watching this shit. Like I watched episode 1 of Cold Case Files. I am from Bay City, Michigan, which is the same town that John List is from. And if you don't know who John List is, you can't be in my pool. I'm sorry.
I wish I could do that with my neck. I like crack my neck when I do that.
Told you I was raised by drag queens. Are you doubting me?
I love it. It's so iconic. I am one of those people who shamelessly enjoy some reality TV. Like, I guess I would consider RuPaul's Drag Race kind of reality TV. Well, yeah. I guess it's
more
like
hyper reality TV.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's like a game show too, kind of, when you think about it. It's like a
right.
But like, I used to watch Jersey Shore when I was in college.
No.
And I've been known to revisit it sometimes, and it's like, but looking back on it now, I'm able to be like, this is socially unacceptable and would not be a thing now. Hopefully, you know.
Hopefully.
No, my sister used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I would sit through episodes of it, but at the time I was like, I don't understand why she likes all this stuff. And then I started on YouTube and I started watching all these drama channels, and I was like, oh no, I've become my sister.
Love is Blind. I've been watching.
I definitely watched Love is Blind.
I've been watching Love is Blind lately, and it's a mess. Sherri, have you watched Love is Blind before?
I don't even know what it is.
So the concept of the show is that couples are paired, or they meet up, and they kind of like meet in like this location where they can't see each other.
It's
so like
pods.
Yeah, they're called pods, and essentially they go on dates with each other, but they don't see each other, so they have to kind of like make the decision to fall in love with somebody and marry them without seeing them. And of course, sometimes
they're all really attractive people. So
they're all like, very bad body representation. It's entertaining, and I feel bad that it's entertaining.
I just can't even with these shows. It's like,
I think one reason why I like reality TV is that it helps me feel like a functional person.
I mean, no hate. I'm not at all shaming anybody. If you like what you like, no hate. I just
not for you.
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. I just don't get it. Yeah, I tried watching. I used to watch that Tyra Banks show, the America's Next Top Model.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that show is such a mess.
Such a mess. It was just like I watched like one cycle, then I was just over it. I was just like, all right, I saw it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's it. The end. Like I don't feel like there's a need for a next season.
See, I like the Next Top Designer. That show is a lot better than Next Top Model.
Is it?
Slightly. At least they make something. At least they make something on that show, and like they're doing something creative on that show.
Are they doing something creative? Are they making quality things? I'm gonna agree to disagree on that.
Are they? Is it?
I'm just gonna say.
When you have
Sherri,
to do a whole
that's gonna be
collection in less than 10 weeks, I mean that's kind of a big deal, isn't it?
You saying that is going to be a GIF. Now I'm going to make it a GIF. Is it? Like,
but are we?
Panda says, I try to avoid drama and play my Pokemon games. I have enough first-hand awkwardness. I don't need it secondhand. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I can't handle the cringe, like the secondhand cringe. Like it gets to be too much, and I like physically can't handle it. You know what I mean? So that's part of it too. Like it just like shuts me down. You know,
when I get like that too, I literally have to physically leave the room. I've always done this since I was a kid. When like the awkwardness just gets too much in like a show or whatever I'm watching, I literally just have to like remove myself from the situation because I just cannot handle it.
It can be kind of triggering sometimes.
Yeah.
RP asks, have you seen the old VH1 of Love shows?
So like what's his name? Flava Flav of Love.
Oh my god. Yeah, I did watch a cycle of that too. What was it called? It was something stupid of love.
Who's that?
Flavor of Love.
I will never forget that video of that woman being like, "Bye, pumpkin." We're like, it was like a
at me, bitch, and like spitting at her and shit. Like, oh yeah,
that was a.
I watched. That was the cycle I watched, of course.
Did you watch the terrible bi representation of Tila Tequila show?
Yes, Ari, we were in college when that show came out. I remember watching it.
Was
Everybody,
a really problematic show.
Now looking back on it, it's like, what was this trash? And now like Tila Tequila is like this extremist, like cultist, and yeah. Let's see. The only thing I know about America's Next Top Model is Niall DeMarco, a deaf gay man. No complaints there. Representation, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then RP used to watch Rock of Love.
I don't know about Rock of Love. Who's that?
I don't think I've seen it either. I have a very, very bad confession. You guys are my confession.
Uh-oh. On your knees.
Oh!
We know you know how to get on your knees. Forgive me, Daddy, because I have sinned. I'm kind of sinning right now.
10 Hail Marys, my child, and a good vlogging.
That was the most protracted snort I think I've heard.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get a sore throat from that. Anyway. Oh.
That's what she said. Oh!
I set myself up for that one, didn't I? Anyway, my confession.
That's what she said. Just keep opening your mouth.
We're just gonna make awkward references here. It's fine. It's fine.
Damn it, Donny. So in like 2013 or 2014, I developed a very strange obsession with this like genre of reality TV. And it was like the what do you call it? Like the repossession of vehicles, like those reality shows.
Like the dog show, right?
Like lizard, like the towing shows, like South Beach Tow, and like.
Oh, I couldn't watch those. So I couldn't watch those.
Staged.
Those was like hashtag triggered for me. I couldn't watch those, and I couldn't watch the Storage Wars ones because like I went through a long period where I was like super broke and I almost lost this house. It was like when the housing market crashed. And so like I had my car repossessed several times and I had to pay tons of money to get it out. And like my power was off and then my heat was off and like I almost lost my house. I could not watch those. I still can't. It was like so triggering. And they came out around that time, and I'm like, so we're glorifying people losing their houses and losing their stuff and their cars and stuff in the middle of a damn crisis when everything, like the tech bubble burst. Like, it was a nightmare. Like, I just could not. So I think like
Shop show too, that was like really depressing to watch.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I think that was like, again, of a certain age. Like, if you didn't own a home and you didn't like go through any of that shit, it was probably fine and kind of funny. But like for us old people, we were just like, I almost lost my shit. Fuck you. Like, that's not funny at all.
Someday we millennials will own a home. Someday.
Someday.
When we're old and gray and the market's falling apart and we have universal basic income where everybody says, you need a place to live.
I think Panda had something to add to our forgive me, Daddy, for I have sinned.
Leo.
404.
Donny blue screened. Oh my goodness. This has been such a fun episode.
Oh, it has. Okay, so Arpy said Rock of Love was with Bret Michaels of Poison. So I have a fun story. I was not into hair metal. All right, so Grandma has a story to tell the children. So sit around the campfire, kids. So I was not into hair metal. I don't want to shock you guys, but like when I was younger, I had like weird colored hair and I had a lot of piercings and tattoos and stuff, and I was a punk. I know.
Thank
God I grew out of it. It was just a phase. But my roommate at the time, so I was like 18, 19, and my roommate at the time was like total hair metal girl, like with the spiky Klingon war helmet hair thing and like the curls in the front and super straight in the back. Never understood that. I watched her do her hair one time, y'all, and it was just like a process. I was just like fascinated. I just like jaw slacked just watching her do her hair. So much Aquanet. Anyway, long story short, too late. So it was a mutual friend of ours. It was her birthday, and a friend bought tickets to go see Motley Crue. That's who it was. It was the Dr. Feelgood tour. That dates this. So what is that? Late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, fine, I'll go, whatever. It's Meg's birthday. Like, we'll enjoy ourselves. So we go. This is T, by the way, Panda. T bought tickets for a mutual friend. It was me, T, and our friend Meg. So we go to the show, and it's in Saginaw, which that arena's in the round. And for some reason, they didn't have their stadium or their stage set up in the round. They had it set up forward facing, and our seats were behind the stage. So we'd like, I don't know why they sold us these seats, but we were the only ones back there, and we were like in these shitty seats where we were behind the stage. And so like we're sitting there, I'm like, whatever. Well, what's the name of the Michaels? Are you sure that was Poison? Wasn't he? Who's the lead singer of Motley Crue? Somebody look it up.
Bret Michaels.
Yeah. Children, look up who the lead singer of Motley Crue was.
I'm too drunk to do that.
He is the front man of Poison.
Okay.
Was he in more than?
No, he wasn't. No. So who's the front man? I need the name of the front man of Motley Crue.
Front man.
Vince Neil.
Thank you, Art.
Okay.
So Vince Neil, that's it. So Vince Neil was hopping around the stage. And by the way, this is one of their sober moments. I didn't know this, but they were all off heroin at this time and all off booze. So Vince Neil was hopping around the stage. And at one point, something like possessed him to get up on top of their stage and turn around and face the back of their stage, like to the rest of the arena. And he kind of was like just in the middle of the song. And then he stopped and he looked and he kind of did one of these to like block the light. And he saw our three dumbasses sitting back there. And then he like pointed at us and started singing. And then the rest of the concert, he made a point of climbing up on top of the stage and singing to us every once in a while and engaging us in the show. And then like, you know, Nikki Sixx and like the other guitar player, whatever the fuck his name is, like they got up and they like sang to us. You know, they played to us and shit. And I was just like, you know what? That's some fucking good showmanship. And that was like, you know, really playing to your audience and really like wanting to create a good show for everybody in the arena. He could have seen us there and just been like, oh, well, fuck them. But he made a point of going up and out of his way and climbing up on top of his set to like sing to us at various points of the show. And that just really fucking impressed me. I was like, you know what? Like, this isn't my kind of music, but what an entertainer and what
that's so engaging.
Yeah, I was just
It
really,
feels really
impressed.
special. Like, oh, he's singing to me.
Right? And then like, everybody Mick Mars. Yeah, that's right, Arpy. Dang, super fan. Nikki Sixx is the bass player, that's right. I've since listened to on audiobooks on Nikki Sixx's autobiography. Very good, by the way. Will make you never want to take heroin.
Not that the fact of doing heroin would make you stop from doing heroin.
Not that it's on the table, but I'm just saying, like, it will double plus good make you not want to do heroin. So anyway, that's my half a bottle of wine story about
this
You're
has
welcome.
been such a funny episode.
I know. Grandma will try to think of more stories. Oh, are we done? Because I'm sure Grandma can come up with more stories.
Well,
we got started.
I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom here in a bit, so
we've already said.
Oh yeah, we already did do that. Well, we can do one more round of stories, and then we'll be good for the evening.
Now the pressure's on.
So tonight I was getting ready for the show and I was feeling really bad about myself. So I ordered a bunch of Dominoes. And that's my story for tonight, is that I ate a bunch of Dominoes before I came on this. And I'm not going to beat myself up because it
is what it is.
It is what it is. Like, I got to enjoy food. I got to enjoy, fulfilling myself, however that means. And that tomorrow is a new day and that I still deserve to eat tomorrow. And I still deserve to have a good day tomorrow, regardless of what I do today.
Good for you.
I'm proud of you. Like,
I'm working really hard on it. I'm trying to get a nutritionist, but I definitely have working on my relationship with food and to not be like, oh my God, like this day is ruined. I'm just gonna like go all out, or like this week is ruined. I guess I just have to starve myself the rest of the week.
So, and I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this. So my therapist literally last week was like, when you're ready, I have a therapist or I have a nutritionist in mind for you, blah, blah, blah. So is it going to be weird if I'm like, so I have a friend who wants to talk to a nutritionist? She's not going to buy that at all, is she? That's going to be like,
no.
She's going to be like, Sherri, you're being evasive.
No, I have a referral from my doctor. I'm going to call them tomorrow and make sure that they put the referral in for me. So I do have somebody on the pipeline, and I have done a consultation with a nutritionist who I could not afford. He was like $250 a month. I'm like, bitch, please.
Yeah, that is so extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I think go ahead, Ari.
No, it's just that I'm on a limited income. If I had like a regular income coming in, I could afford it, but like I don't.
Right.
So what were you gonna say, Donny?
I was going to say my story for the evening is expressing the genuine appreciation I have for my therapist for being... my therapist is so good with going with the flow, and I've had other therapists who have not been. So I recently had a session where I normally come in with like a list of things I want to talk about. I'm like, really organized discussion points, discussion questions.
That shocks me. That is so out of character for you.
Right. Like that's, what is that?
Just so all you bitches, shut up for a minute. Just so all you bitches in the chat know, this whore, we were like, oh yeah, this is going to be like real free form. And we're just going to talk blah, blah. Bitch came up with a list of topics for us to talk about.
I always have discussion questions.
We didn't talk about any of them.
I did weasel a couple of them in there.
He did.
I did.
He snuck them in under the radar.
I always do. But I think that's just because it's like an English teacher thing. Like, always have backup discussion prompts. Like,
but I'm an art teacher, and so fuck me, right?
You have visuals. Like, you're better with visuals. I have no doubt that you're very good with discussion prompts. You're very good at improv, much more than I am. So there you go. That's what you
That's
get.
fair. That's fair. I am good at improv. At least I hope I am.
You definitely are.
You're very good at improv. But anyway, my therapist is so patient with me because there was a day I came in. I was late. I didn't have my stuff. I didn't have any discussion points. And I really I was having a bad day and I didn't want to talk. It was like a very, very rare day for me. And she was like, she managed to get so much stuff out of me.
sometimes those are the better days because then they're running the show and they're just like, all right, let's do some inner stuff. And you're just like, oh, fuck me. Yeah, I love those days where I'm just like, maybe I'll never come prepared again.
Right. Well, like she kind of at one point mentioned, she was like, Donny, you like, I'm here to listen, but you basically have everything figured out whenever you come in. And I'm just like, oh God, I hope I'm not that pedantic sounding with like, I just need somebody to talk to.
Like, okay, let me share a screen so I can show you the PowerPoint. This is how my week was.
Here is my discussion agenda.
On Monday from 11 to 5, I was thinking.
That's kind of how it goes without the slideshow. Although now that you bring that up, maybe that's a good. I'm kidding. All right. All right, Sherri, what is your final story for the evening?
I don't have anything good, but if we're going to talk about food, I got Taco Bell earlier and I got a free Baja Blast frozen thing. It's melted now, but I don't know why they gave it to me. I feel like somebody didn't get their Baja Blast frozen drink and I just got it by accident. I don't know.
You came prepared with the drunk food. Like, Taco Bell is like ultimate drunk food.
Taco Bell's way to go. I'm telling you, my friends. You gotta plan ahead with
free stuff on, like, good for you.
Yeah.
I like Taco Bell, but I'm a McDonald's gal when it comes to that because I like the crunch of fries, whereas like Taco Bell gives me a tummy ache.
I like McDonald's too. Don't get me wrong, but like I DoorDash and it's way too expensive to get McDonald's on DoorDash. It is Taco Bell too, but yeah,
okay.
it's just everything's more expensive, and I just can't talk myself into like $12 worth of McNuggets to get the free delivery.
Is Taco Bell your DoorDash guilty pleasure?
Oh, DoorDash is my guilty pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a mini story not too long about Taco Bell. So my sisters and I got really drunk one night and they drove Taco Bell. Like, my sister was the sober one driving. They went to Taco Bell. My sister ordered a burrito. And my other sister, Rachel, said, hey, can I have some of your burrito? And she was like, fine, because she had already started eating it. And she was like wolfing it down. And my sister Jessica said, are you going to say some for me? And she said, I'll stop when I get to half. And then she ate the whole thing. She's like, what about my half?
Yeah, she didn't say which half she was going to stop after.
That is so amazing. my DoorDash guilty pleasure is Panera.
I got Panera yesterday.
And it's so expensive. I hate that it's so expensive.
So expensive.
But their Fuji apple salad, I will travel to the ends of the earth for that salad. It's so good.
Very good. Yeah, it's very good. I got their, what did I get last time? Oh, I got their Greek salad. That was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was delicious.
So whenever I go to Panera, I always do the half veggie sandwich with a bowl of, or a cup of tomato basil soup. And it is primo.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds delicious.
I had the salad and the broccoli cheddar soup. That's really good too.
Oh,
so
God.
Good.
Yes. Sometimes I'm like a kid and I'll get like broccoli cheddar soup and like half a grilled cheese and like dunk it in there.
I also got half a grilled cheese.
I still love grilled cheese sandwiches.
I was really hungry. I got half and a half.
Don't explain it away. You're allowed to eat. Nobody's allowed to touch
Exactly. We are all allowed to eat and enjoy it.
We are food friendly here, friend.
All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for having laughs with us. We hope that this episode helped you relax in some way. Keep in mind, we will not be doing a show next week, but we will be doing one the week after. We will be returning on the 17th. We have been, I do want to mention something that we've been talking about doing. We've been talking about doing a like highlights reel between episodes called, what were we going to call it, Sherri? Cabbage soup?
Yes.
Cabbage soup.
Can you explain what cabbage soup is again?
So cabbage is so the name of the podcast is Restitching the Tapestry. And cabbage is what you call in like a seamstress shop or a tailor shop, all the little strips of fabric or scraps of fabric that are left over after making something. That's called the cabbage. And soup is something warm and comforting. So it's cabbage soup.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing like a recap / highlight little like video between episodes to kind of like satiate everybody, you know? So, but anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. We love you. Good luck tomorrow, Ken. You got this.
Good luck, Ken.
Bye, Ken.
And we all love you.
And
never forget that. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.